Welcome everyone. Thank you again for tuning in for this month's Staff Spotlight. I'm Jennifer French, and I'm here today with Anna Martin. Many of you know Anna. Anna has a dual role here at the Yoga Sanctuary. She's our office manager, but also one of our amazing teachers. She's been teaching, 4 years here at the Yoga Sanctuary. And Anna just came back from an intensive training in what's called Vipassana Meditation. So tell us a little bit about that, Anna. What made you decide to go for this training or to do this training?
So Vipassana Meditation was a little bit of an enigma for me for a few years. I've heard a lot about it, not in detail, but just in general. A few friends of mine did it in Canada, but again, not too many details were disclosed. And I was constantly researching it online through the website, trying to figure out if I would like to do that. For a few years, I was thinking about it, and finally I decided that it's the right time for me to make a commitment. It is a 10-day silent meditation retreat, but more so training and commitment to silence and meditation in general.
10 days.
10 days. Silence was probably the most comforting and healing part of it. That was very easy for me to go through that part of the challenge, but the challenge of sitting for 10 hours of meditation a day, that was very unexpected and very challenging on a lot of different levels.
It sounds like it would be. I want to ask more about that, but to let our viewers know, do you know what the word Vipassana means? Can you translate that for us?
Vipassana in Pali language, the same language where the word metta comes from, means seeing things as they are. And this is the fundamental meaning of the whole practice. So basically, at the very beginning, before the course starts, you make a commitment to silence, the noble silence, sacred silence, and then to solitude. Even being within a group of about 70 people, you have no physical contact, you have no basically openness to any other activities but meditation. So there are little breaks throughout the day for breakfast and lunch, and then 5 o'clock tea, and in between, primarily most of the time, a few days taken by sitting in meditation.
Right. So you said that the silence was comforting, fairly accessible, but then the actual sitting was challenging.
It was, because you don't realize how long an hour can be, and when your body is not trained to be in that particular state of stillness for that long, it seems like hours last, 1 hour lasts for hours. And as gradually you become more and more familiar with what to expect and how it feels, amazingly enough, the body molds itself into a comfort of being in a seated position. With that said, the sitting can be in a chair. They accommodate all kinds of needs. The sitting can be by the wall. You have to make arrangements ahead of time so they will know how many people need to have special arrangements for sitting other than the cushion. So there are ways how you can find comfort into a seated posture. But once you find comfort on a certain day, I think on day 5, we were asked for 3 individual hours throughout the day to be in complete stillness, which means without movement of your hands, without opening your eyes, without shifting your foundation of your legs and your sitting. So at that point, you are for that challenge because you're already kind of ready for the next day and what the next day brings. But it is a huge challenge. I would recommend it to people who would like to challenge themselves, just like some people would like to challenge themselves and train for 5K, or some people would like to challenge themselves and train for freedom swim. So it is something that if it is one way or the other, in partially or completely in your interest or in your lifestyle, it is a great challenge to take on.
Yeah.
The thing is that you are completely with yourself.
Yeah.
You are with your thoughts, and you are following the guidance of the practice.
Is there a simple way of describing the difference between this technique, the Vipassana technique, and any other maybe meditation technique that people are familiar with, or when we just simply do our centering practice here at the Yoga Sanctuary before class? The fundamentals.
Right. The word meditation, means being focused on one place or one thing. So this is the same across the board. Vipassana meditation takes it to the depth of the essence of the meditation practice, being with what comes. So you're completely observing your breath, and you're observing all of these sensations in your body, and you're 100% trying to focus your mind on that.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they guide you to be aware of the impermanence of every single breath, every single sensation. So everything that comes, it will pass. So for that, they try to encourage you not to move, not to respond to any of the things that come, maintaining yourself in equilibrium of your mind and in balance of your mind-body completely, fully and completely. Things come up in a different way. There were different instances that people were crying, people were laughing, and emotions come, like in any other meditation. The difference here is that you make a commitment to following certain guidelines, and you try not to step over the line in trying to do the meditation that you know. Like we do sometimes meditation on the breath, we do meditation on the object, we do meditation on the mantra. So all of that, one way or the other, is part of the big picture of meditation practice. So Vipassana starts with Anapana breath, watching for a good 30 hours for 3 days. You're just observing a very small area of your body and breathing, and just tuned into a very restricted area of your body with the sensations. And then the area of the observation expands, and that gives you a little bit more freedom to be within the whole physical body, observing what comes and what goes. And the end of that practice actually is familiar to a lot of our students, because we did that in our studio, is metta practice. So it is the conclusion that within the practice of Vipassana, you build a relationship with yourself. You bring yourself to the equilibrium and balance of your mind, and then at the end, you acknowledge the kindness, the compassion, and the existence of the community that you're in, that you are not all by yourself, that you're still living within certain social group, and metta meditation takes you across the border. So it extends to the people that you're with immediately in the surrounding, and then further out to the group of the people that you live with and socialize with on a regular basis.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Really beautiful. We're keeping all of you quite a bit of time here today, but I have one more question that I think is so great to ask Anna, as I've been overhearing this so many times as people have come back and said, "Oh, welcome back." Did you have fun?
That was a great question, because I was thinking about that right away when the practice was over, and now thinking about it pretty much every now and again. Fun is not the word that I would use, because you have fun when you go to Disney, you have fun when you go on a cruise. When you go to restrict yourself and withdraw yourself from a lot of things that are very familiar for you on a daily basis, it's a challenge. It's an interesting study of the depth of the yoga practice, because we know that meditation is the ultimate goal of yoga practice. So going to the place where you know that that's what the full-time yogis do when they sit in the cave, when they spend all day and all life just doing that, that it just reminds you that yoga practice is a serious commitment. And it was a very interesting experience.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting experience. A lot of different adjectives I can use to describe it. The fun probably wouldn't be one of them.
That's super. And lastly, there's something in front of you that I thought might be interesting to share with our students. Would you like to, and this is kind of coming away from the training.
Oh, it's kind of the lines of compassion.
Yeah, the lines of compassion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
go ahead, show what you got there.
In May, when the royal wedding of Prince Harry was taking place, the media exposed the royal family more so than ever. And I was observing the Queen Elizabeth and this wonderful woman who has been dealing with so much for so long. And I wrote her a letter. I wrote her a letter of compassion. I mentioned that I think that she has been dealing with a lot of things throughout her life, and I said that I just admired her as a woman, as the ruler of the country, if you may say so, the queen for so many years, as a mother and as a woman. And amazingly enough, I received a letter back from the Buckingham Palace. Would you like to read that?
Sure, from Buckingham Palace. Dear Mrs. Martin, the Queen wishes me to write and thank you for your card and letter. Her Majesty thought it so kind of you to write to her, and the Queen was interested to learn that you have been studying and teaching yoga for a number of years. Her Majesty greatly appreciated your message of support and good wishes for her at this time, and I am to thank you for once again writing as you did. Yours sincerely, can't read her name, but it's a lady in waiting in the Queen's stead. That's so good.
That was unexpected, but it was just really thrilling. It just shows that you can write to anybody who you feel compassionate with, and more likely people will appreciate that.
And respond, right?
Respond.
We meet the world with compassion, and compassion comes back.